If you're thinking about buying in Viera, we're going to cover 8 things about living in this area that you should know. School zones matter big time. Now, Viera is packed with A-rated schools and charter schools, but boundaries shift from time to time. So before you purchase a property, you want to verify that it's in the school boundary that you want to send your children to, because close enough might not be good enough. The sense of community. So it's no surprise that Viera is a master plan community, and there is a lot of things going on between the local neighborhood Facebook groups. There's weekly get-togethers, and every major holiday there is some sort of celebration. Each neighborhood is a little bit different and they have kind of their own nuance to it, but think Halloween, Christmas, 4th of July, there's normally light shows. Some neighbors have a large lot and they'll bring a band in on a trailer and host a big ass party for the community, but there's a lot of things that are going on. Golf cart life is a real thing. Most neighborhoods are built around these multi-use cart paths, which are going to be for golf carts, pedestrians, and bicyclists. Now, there are certain paths that you're supposed to navigate on, and if you aren't on those paths, then you can navigate on the street. But it's a real thing and it makes life a lot more convenient. Think about quick Publix runs, going to grab some coffee or ice cream over at the local coffee joint, getting groceries, picking up takeout from Sushi Kawa, which is one of my favorite sushi places to get, going to the parks and playgrounds in the area, going to Addison Village Clubhouse. It just makes life a lot easier and more convenient when you can travel on a golf cart. And then this relates to the walking path. So not all sidewalks allow golf carts, which is for safety reasons, but if you're a runner or a walker like myself, I love being able to explore and take different paths from time to time. I don't necessarily always love running the same route. Some days I like to pick up more miles and look at different scenery. So fortunately in Viera, there's just a lot of different sidewalks and paths that you can take to enjoy your runs or your walks and take in new scenery, look at new things in the area, and just get outdoors and get some exercise. Addison Village Clubhouse is not automatic. Now, the Cove communities, which will include Tresona Cove, Sierra Cove, and Sendero Cove, part of the HOA fees pay for the dues to Addison Village Clubhouse. But some of these surrounding communities do not necessarily grant you access automatically. Now, Addison Village will allow you to pay for a membership to be a part of that clubhouse. However, once they hit capacity, the people that are not automatically paying into those fees will be the first ones to not be able to renew their membership. For example, if you bought in Pangea, you are not automatically paying dues to Addison Village Clubhouse. Now, you can join Addison Village Clubhouse. However, once they hit capacity, you would not be able to renew your membership. But Pangea does have their own pool and their own outdoor area that you can enjoy that is part of your HOA fees. Fences and neighbors. Now, it comes with the territory of living in Viera that our lot lines are relatively tight. You could be 20 feet away from your neighbors. Some houses are a little bit more, some a little bit shorter at 10 feet. And that is with the territory that we all buy into. It's not like a surprise when you buy in Viera and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have 5 neighbors surrounding my home. You should know that going into it. However, I will say there is a sense of privacy that you can include into your home. So for the most part, all of the homes will allow a fence. Now, the 6-foot privacy fence has been grandfathered into certain communities like Tresona Cove, which is where I live. And on new future Viera development, the only fences that they're allowed is that 4 to 6 foot Floridian style fence, or that metal fence that you see a lot of times on homes that have a water feature in the rear, or like a water view. Now, what you can also do is add additional landscaping, and I'll use my personal residence as another reference point on this. If you look at the back of our yard, I have areca palms, which if you've seen these palms, they grow really dense and they can get extremely tall. We put those in our backyard to give us that sense of privacy. It also gets really lush out there and it looks great when you're in the backyard, but knowing without that landscaping, I can see a bunch of neighbors. HOAs run the show. For the most part, every neighborhood in Viera has an HOA attached to it. Now, the fees are going to vary based on if it's gated, based on the amenities that are included, but HOAs serve a purpose, and it's the reason when you go into these neighborhoods that the homes are, for the most part, all very presentable and manicured. It's because the HOA does, enforce certain things. They want the grass kept, neat. And if you want to paint your home a outrageous color, for example, it has to go through a formal process called the Architectural Review Committee, where, they have to approve these colors. Same with like if you want to replace a roof or add a fence. That's why the HOA is, involved in these things. So you don't have a house that's crazy pink or some outlandish color that just doesn't match the overall kind of aesthetic of the neighborhood. Future growth is coming. So there's still new developments happening on the residential side. There's new commercial developments happening. That's new Publix. That's, new things happening in this area. And it's exciting to be a part of. All of these things enhance our, equity in the homes. It's that kind of seal of confidence where we have that level of appreciation of the future for our homes. And it also is like exciting to be a part of because you get to see this area that not too long ago was just a bunch of cow pastures. And people love to talk about when Viera was just cow pastures, and now it's packed with homes and, development and all sorts of things to do. And there's about a decade left of development happening in this area, meaning there's just going to be a lot more options of things to do. Your home's values will continue to increase, and there's going to be new schools and other things that are just going to help enhance your lifestyle. Now, we couldn't cover everything in this video, but if you have any questions about moving to Viera, or maybe you're already here and you just want to have a little bit more detailed conversation with me, send me an email to shane@thebergmangroup.com and we can schedule a time to chat and go through all of the questions and any other things that you need.